Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for another episode of Awoken with Alden with breaking news coverage regarding the attacks against Iran by the United States in Tehran overnight, say maybe 7 or so hours ago. We struck them. So I believe there's like I'm kind of like a 5K going on or something. We're here at the U.S. Capitol this morning. Lots of very uncertain times, I'd say, right now. We're unsure of what any casualties, what those may look. The president did formally declare war against the Iranians this morning. We've known this has been building and building over the past several months. Really since it became I guess the second prediction is now correct. So already it's not even March, and 2 of the 5 of my predictions on my 2026 prediction video have been proven correct already. So yeah, that's right. I am right. All right. So we're at the U.S. Capitol this morning doing today's stream. We're going to be discussing the Iranian coverage and the attacks all day today. So buckle up, get ready. Iran is the top. We've been talking about, if you watch the show before, Iran is the name of the game. So these attacks occurred last night, overnight at least. So we are going to be discussing them in great detail today, throughout today. Yeah, there's a 5K going on over there, something like that. What's this? Never mind. Yeah, we are going to be doing a deep dive tonight. So here's the schedule for today. We're going to do this morning stream. We'll be on here a little bit. And then around 1:45 or so today, probably 1:45, we will go live for an anti-Iranian regime demonstration by the World War I Memorial, I believe it is, here in D.C. I believe marching to the White House. Then tonight at probably 8:15, we will go live as well and discuss the events from last night. I got a comment from at Booker DC9UM with a question. Good morning. What are you talking about today? Wonderful question. Good morning, Booker. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. We are going to be talking about a lot about Iran today and the conflict in the Middle East. That was yesterday's topic while I was here. Yesterday was really more of a prediction video, I should say, kind of laying the terms out, like what's happening, what's going on. I'm going to have a seat for a sec. But then But yeah, we're going to be talking about the strikes against Iran by the United States and Israel last night. We know the Supreme Leader's compound and place of residence was attacked. The Supreme Leader was not involved in any way. We know he's has been transported to a more secure area in the country, probably the Algros or Zagros Mountains. We also know there was an attempt on the president of Iran's life, Perzeshkian, I believe is how you pronounce it. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on there. Okay, we have a question from Elmi 4399. You don't explain what you think about war erupting in the Middle East. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that all day today. So overnight, the United States and Israel launches attacks against Iran. We've seen this coming for several months now. If you've been listening to my channel since I started it recently, we know that, sorry, yeah, I had to catch that real quick, that war has been seemingly imminent. This conflict was not being avoided. We know the discussions in Geneva, Switzerland were really never, it was just both sides playing diplomacy. But we knew the demands from either side were not going to change. And, but no, this is a war, like we are actively in war. And yeah, so it's really insane that once again, the United States finds itself in a war in the Middle East. So yeah, yeah, guys, so it's that, but here we are, 2026, and we're still back in 2006, feels like. We also know that I believe the head of the Iranian judiciary was killed off, as well as a senior commander within the Revolutionary Guard, the IRGC, the parallel military apparatus force for the Iranian regime and government, was also killed. So they've already taken a couple of losses, but the Supreme Leader and the President are still alive. So they're going to be, yeah, they're kind of like Batman and Robin a little bit. Or I guess maybe Bowser and Bowser Jr., depending on how you view them. Yeah, good questions, though, everybody. Thank you for... And if it's your first time on the live stream, would love if you subscribed to the channel, as I also do weeknight political talk shows at the desktop. I do morning streams like this most every morning, but we're going to be streaming a lot here next couple of days. And today, I also attend protests. I also attend protests in Washington, D.C. and conduct man-on-the-street interviews. So you'll definitely want to subscribe so you don't miss a second of the coverage. Please leave the video a like and subscribe. That way you can join all future streams as well, because this is a big day. At Darren M617 says the U.S. just bombed Iran. Yes, yes, sir, we did. We did that overnight. Right now, it just seems to be targeting kind of maybe general military infrastructure. We know, at least as of now, they haven't attacked nuclear facilities or the missile defense program for Iran. And those two seem to be the the stress points for the negotiations in Geneva, Switzerland. So, Demirot says, how much money have you accepted from Israel? Huh. Funny. Yeah, they'd pay a dude with under 400 subscribers on YouTube to influence them. You know how much money they send into this building? So that's what I'd kind of keep the prize on. So, but good, funny question, though. I appreciate it. So yeah, everybody, if it's your first time joining the stream, would love if you hit that like button, give the channel a follow, and subscribe to the channel, and say conduct coverage like this on a frequent basis. We're going to be, so today we got a lot of stuff. We're going to have this stream this morning. We're going to go to an anti-Iranian regime protest today at 1:45 at the World War I Memorial here in Washington, D.C. And then tonight we'll have an anchor show. We'll do an emergency anchor show and really break down reporting what we think is going to happen with the conflict and stuff like that. So we know a little bit so far. We know that the head of the Iranian judiciary has been killed. The head of the Revolutionary Guard was killed, and the Supreme Leader's compound was attacked. But we believe the Supreme Leader is alive. Same with the Iranian President Perzeskian, I believe is how you pronounce his name, and Ayatollah Khamenei had that look into it. That's how it's pronounced perfectly. Hot Dog 77,334 says you can't find Iran on a map. Well, check out my channel actually. And watch maybe some of the couple hour-long videos I've talked about Iran. So I've talked about this conflict a lot on the channel. I think it's a super interesting conflict and country. And tonight we'll roll out the 55-slide PowerPoint I made last summer. And we'll go through the history of the very beginning of what used to be Persia. Persian society, from Cyrus the Great to Alexander the Great, from Reza Shah, the last Shah, Ruhollah Khomeini, Ali Khamenei, how the Revolutionary Guard has expanded under Iran in particular. So trust me, like I've been doing a lot of research into this country, culture, and conflict for the past several months. So I promise you I am pretty well kept up with this. Demi, so you don't actually like Iran? Well, I can't, like, I'm America first, so I love America more than any country for sure. Now, do I think we should attack them? No, yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's our, they're a threat to Israel, not the United States. And yeah, Hot Dog makes a good point with the weapons, WMDs in Iraq all over again. Yeah, this time the admin didn't even really try and lie that much, honestly. They just kind of flat out said it, like, or you can tell, like, that it was such, that it wasn't about weapons of mass destruction or nuclear. It's about eliminating the greatest threat to Israel on the map right now. That's Iran, along with their proxies. So, Nah, because Iran, they don't even have, even if like, and I thought last summer when we bombed Iran, I thought that obliterated the missile program. So, or the nuclear program, I should say, not missile program. So, okay, got a couple other comments. Vinny says, I'm pretty sure this is all about oil. An economic threat is the real issue. Adam says, not a fan of Trump, but it's nice to see them striking Iran. So yeah, we know Iran in the past decade has been severely weakened. The sanctions, the snapback sanctions from when they abandoned discussions with the IAEA last September from Europe have really crippled the economy. Their main, they have the Strait of Hormuz, right? They have the 20%, the global oil supply, but that's not enough. We saw the dollar the dollar has totally collapsed. Phil Daniels says, bro, won't read my comments because it's the bitter truth. It's the first comment I've seen you make. YouTube must be hiding some of the comments. Yeah, if there's explicitives or stuff like that, YouTube will often like kind of crowd. Yeah, it won't allow me to see them. So maybe change some of the keywords in your message or something. 511 says, what's wrong with the, okay, at Dimrot, yes, that message made it. Yeah, I just saw your most recent one. Phil, already read Phil's. Okay, let's go back to 511. What's wrong with the funding democracy and human rights? Look, United did not do anything to defend the Iranian people. Obviously we should be against innocent people being killed, right? It's just not the United States problem. If you check out my channel, I've talked about the genocide in Sudan right now, how that country is, it's basically splitting apart. I've talked about Yemen before. I've talked about Lebanon, how Lebanon has not had a census since 1932, I believe, or 1921 maybe. I don't know. It's been over 100 years. So they're still in a civil war. Like there's so much more conflict than what people realize. And that's why I started the channel, right? Because to try to wake people up to what's actually happening in the world, that it's not just these big countries, right? There's genocide in Sudan, conflict in Yemen and Lebanon, Libya, right? All of these countries, there's stuff going on there. So, for example, like Afghanistan, right? The Afghanistan and Pakistan, the Taliban is fighting. They're in a war right now, pretty much. So, excuse me. Carl 8909 says, no way this should have happened. How about Russia and China's response? We're just going to have to see what they say or what they do. Right? It's going to be, I think Russia is kind of squeezed right now with Ukraine. I think you saw that because when Assad fell back in December of 2024, Russia was kind of like, oh crap, we lost an ally there. And China, I think China, they're maybe hoping that the US gets actually dragged into this. So maybe they can make a play on Taiwan. So if the US is squeezed, if they're all stuck in the Middle East, then that might be China's time to go for Taiwan. Now, I'm not sure how likely that is, but that's a possibility, I think. Nurse Rod says Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan. And Smithgars 6555, why would China care? Oil. So yeah, Venny makes a good point about oil. So as I mentioned, the Strait of Hormuz is about 20% of the global oil supply, but that's about 40%. That's where China gets about 40% of their oil. It's the Strait of Hormuz. So, so yeah, China does have a lot to lose if Iran falls, absolutely, especially if this regime falls. And if it turns pro-Western, that means China and Russia would have lost Iran and Venezuela within 4 months and not really gain anything either. Plus losing Syria as well. Russia lost Syria around Christmas of 2024. So Russia would be losing three important guys within, 18 months, something like that, right? So there is some major consequences for some of the other nations, for sure. Proxy, yep, Demirot says China already did it to Hong Kong, and it didn't even make national news. Good point. Yeah, everybody, if it's just now your first time on the stream, I recognize a few people. I believe Nurse Rod's been here a few times. Demirot's been here a couple of times, maybe one or two more. But yeah, if it's your first time, please join them down in the comment section. Leave a comment, leave questions, and leave the video a like, and please subscribe to the channel. That's the best way you can support my work and help fuel the channel. I also host tonight, I think I announced this earlier, but we'll do an emergency episode tonight. I'll get that stuff set up later today. And then tonight we're also going to be around 1:45 today. There's an anti-Iranian regime protest, so I'll do man on the street with people there. Ask them, especially with the attacks today, that's going to be juicy content, right? So you'll definitely want to come back for that. Atmos1X says, starting a war and you think he will get a peace prize. Swan 1966 says, still a better choice than Kamala. And Nurse Rod is clarifying that it was sarcasm. Yeah, guys, we're all chilling, right? Vinny says, what's wrong with Rand Paul? What did the senator say? I'm not too sure of his recent comments. I know he opposes this. Yeah. Atmos apologizes to Nurse. Nurse is a cool guy. I'm sure he'll be understanding. And Vinny says Rand Paul is a good guy. Yeah, maybe there's some comments that for whatever, because that Phil guy said I wasn't reading his comments because I didn't want to hear the truth, but I just didn't see the comments. So some of these comments just honestly don't make it to me, guys. So I'm not sure why that is. I try to read every single thing I say, unless if it's like a racial slur, or something, and those usually don't even make it. So. But yeah, everybody, if you're just now joining the stream, would love if you subscribe to the channel. We're starting to build a pretty little cool community here, with the Awoken is growing day by day and brick by brick, and have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. Especially today, we're going to be doing 3 streams today, so you'll want to be here for all of them. Nurse Rand Paul angling for presidential run. potentially, I remember he ran for POTUS back in 2016 against in the GOP primary. Will he run again? I don't know. And look, if this war is not successful, or if it looks like it, if Iran can hold on, or if they start killing Americans, then that's, if we get sucked into a prolonged war from this, it's going to kill Trump politically. Yeah, like the Republicans, they'll get shellacked in the midterms for sure. Like they might even lose if we get stuck in another Middle East war, the Republicans will get crushed in the midterms. Absolutely. So there's a lot of consequence going on with this. Yeah, this isn't anything to just kind of float over, guys. This is a potentially huge and consequential conflict that we have just begun. Okay, Vinny says he's leaving the USA ASAP, and 1700 BC says, bless the United States of Israel. Yeah, it kind of feels like that sometimes, doesn't it, right? We can't get mass deportations, but we can get a war with Iran, no problem. So, yeah. Good morning, everybody. Hoping you're having a wonderful day right now. Yeah, if you join some of the great guys down in the comment section here, we have a good little group, good little crew of commentators, and I know a couple people have subscribed that are in the comment section, so you'll want to join them on both fronts. Join them in the comment section and join them by subscribing to the channel. Best thing and best way you can support me in that regard. We're going to be doing several streams today. We're going to be going to an anti-Iranian regime protest later today to talk to people there, do man on the street. And as well, we're going to be doing an emergency anchor show tonight, where we'll be reading articles, we'll be checking stuff out on Twitter, and I'll be really giving you what I think is happening with the conflict right now. So, yeah, and if you want, please subscribe and check out some of my other videos about Iran too, and just about the conflict. So I have an episode about Hezbollah, about the Houthis. I have a 45-minute monologue I clipped about Iran last week. That's on the channel. That's its own separate episode. I believe it's called "Can Iran's Regime Survival Strategy Explained?" And I also correctly predicted that this war would begin in my 2000 bold predictions for a 2026 video as well. So I've been on the ball for this issue for the past several months. So you'll definitely, I can be a trusted source, an honest source for you when you're navigating this conflict. So would love if you subscribed. Gar 6555 says, was funny watching Russia put out a statement as if Ukraine wasn't happening. Right, yeah, that is kind of funny. I'm not sure what the exact details of that statement are, though. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Once again, my name is Alden S. Nance. Run live shows like this on a frequent basis, especially for emergency breaking news coverage. So you'll definitely want to hit that subscribe button, leave the video a like as well. And yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of, it's a Iran type of Saturday. This is real. If you've been following my channel at all, you're definitely well prepared. You have a good amount of information and you're prepared for this conflict, to know what's going on, the reality beyond the headlines, and all that good stuff. Okay. So, yeah, got a lot of stuff going on today for sure. And with the conflict, so I have like a 55 slide presentation I made last summer about the conflict. Before I even made the channel, I just got so fascinated by this, learning about this country. Because after we bombed the nuclear facilities last June, it really, geopolitically, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And what do I mean by that is that the president promised no new wars, particularly in the Middle East. And then boom, now here we are. We're in a war in the Middle East once again. So yeah, I did a lot of research into this country, and I found some things that kind of started making me question everything about everything here. Who's actually telling the truth? Why are we involved in this conflict? So it's really set me on this journey to where we are today. The last several months of research and studying and preparing has led to this day. This is game time, guys. This is being grounded and serious. This is we are in a regime change war now. Absolutely. This isn't just a campaign to strike the nuclear facilities like last summer. Like the president during the address this morning advocated for toppling of the Iranian government. So we'll see if Iran can survive. It's going to be, if you followed some of my other episodes, I've kind of made the point that the regime is, it's built for moments like this, though. The Iranian regime, it's built like the Titanic, along with proxy networks, missile defense capabilities, and all stuff like that. So, okay, let's read a couple. Got some new people joined the comment section. Said I looked like the anonymous guy here. Wow, got a lot of new people on. Okay, hang on. Fry from 98 says, God bless America, with USA flags. Adding, this is the end of the beginning. There was an account with a really long line, had their messages thrown away. Surf Ninja Gaming says, hi, hello. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. And the new kid in town says the end of nothing is here. 511 says, I support Donald Trump and American troops. God bless America. They're doing the right thing. What would be a better place? And Surf Ninja Gaming says, nice white building in background. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, you know, so over here is the Supreme Court of the United States building. So here's something that's kind of like, here I am right now. Just imagine what it's like to be on the ground in Iran right now. We attack them, and here we are at the U.S. Capitol like it's nothing. Like there's people out here with like McDonald's drinks and on a run, like there's nothing going on at all. So it shows you that American exceptionalism. Caitlin Wall 6478 says, morning, bro. Good morning, Caitlin. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. Philly from 98, 250 years. Original capital was in Philly, though, right? Yes, and I've been before as well. Yes, originally in Philadelphia, and I've been in like the halls of it. Like the original building is still there, and you can go for free. Go to Philly, and check it out. So yeah, good comment there. Surf Ninja Gaming, what's the white building behind you called? This is the United States Capitol building, the Capitol Dome. The Senate is right here, and this is the House of Representatives. This is the where the elected government, the elected federal government meets and conducts official business. They hold votes. So wonderful there. Okay. King 333 says at the beginning, what's the end? Be like your ancestors or be different. We must repeat. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so yeah, that's the United States Capitol building. The one over here, this is the Supreme Court of the United States. This is one of the Library of Congresses. There's a couple of the buildings. I think there's 3 Library of Congresses, but there's like, yeah, there's 3 separate buildings. Gar 6555, have you seen the picture of Ali Khamenei's house after the strike? It's completely wiped from the map. I did, yes. We know the Supreme Leader's residence compound was attacked. From all we know, though, he was not anywhere near the area. They've probably got him in the Algros or the Zagros mountains somewhere deep underground. Same with Perzeskian, I believe is how you pronounce the president's name. There was an attack on his life as well, but we know he is still alive as of this moment. But they are, they're the grand prize, at least to the Israelis and the United States. So the Iranians are going to do all they can to keep them alive. We don't know how long these strikes will be. I think it will be around a week at least, if not longer, because Trump made it sound, really came out and basically kind of said, we're going for the throat here. We're going with a clear intent of overthrowing the regime. He advocated for Iranians to stay in their homes and then wait until the time is right to overtake your government back, to storm government buildings there. So this is a pretty massive buildup and moment in U.S. history for sure. So we're going to be covering this a lot over the next couple of days. Surf Ninja says, cool looking building there, not very busy there today. It might, yeah, usually it's kind of quiet, especially on a weekend morning, like a Saturday morning like this. You'll have some tourists, maybe people on a run, out walking around or, just kind of maybe having a morning coffee, but not particularly busy. Vinny says, I've seen the TR-3B flight in 2012. Okay, that was a little bit ago. Okay, Caitlin Wall says, we miss you. Gage misses you. Aw. I'm sad now. David Moore, 7,110, says, good morning. Good morning, David. Welcome back, brother. Thank you for joining the stream once again. And the new kid in town says, protest something you stand for or don't stand for. Do some public speaking there. Make a name for yourself. just set down. You're looking pretty sharp today. I appreciate. Yeah, I always wear purple. My favorite color. Not trying to sound like a 5-year-old. But yeah, that's school I went to was purple. It's always been my my deal. Caitlin Mull says we have coffee for you. Absolutely. I'm start heading that way here. I gotta start heading that way. So I'll be there in probably 10 or 15, something like that. But we will be going to the anti-Iranian regime protest at the World War I Memorial in D.C. Later today. So you'll definitely want to check that back out. Probably go live around 1:45 or something for that. So Caitlin Wall says amazing. The new kid in town says, when do you meet with Nancy Pelosi and Ilhan Omar? No way, bro. Yeah, cannot. Yeah, I am not on their side. Let's just say that. Yeah, did you see Omar at the State of the Union? She was like seething when Trump was like talking about Somali pirates. Yeah, just absolutely seething, like kind of like the Airhead commercial. It was almost like her head was about to explode. She was so like just outraged. And Vinny says you look dapper. Thank you. I appreciate you, brothers. Appreciate the compliments about the fit and the Versace's. You know, always got to have that. Always got to have the good combo there. Dusty Old Walnut says it's Fred Armesian. Elizabeth Warding applauding insider trading. LOL. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, we did. You guys should also check out the. I did a live stream for the State of the Union. Went about 4 hours long, so it's a little long, but yeah, I did live reaction to that. We had a good comment section that night as well. So yeah, hey everybody, if it's your first time on the channel, please leave the video a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as it's the best way you can support my work. I do live streams like this on a frequent basis, just kind of out here around talking with you guys, getting to know you. And we are building the Awoken community brick by brick and patriot by patriot into something very special here. So thank you very much. If you're a return viewer, I'm recognizing a good chunk of y'all now. Like David Moore, he's here. He's here all the time. Trossway, he's another guy who's here all the time. G Money Forever 2024 is here all the time as well. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff going on. So you should definitely become a regular on the channel as well. Go long Brent crude and silver gold, says Vinny. Yeah, here's one last shot of the Capitol building for you guys. Well, this guy's a sign that says, don't permit crazy. Huh. I'm not sure what he's trying to prove there. And we saw that lady with the sign by the Supreme Court as well. Mm-hmm. Righty, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here on the stream this morning. We are, so a little recap of what at least we know about the strikes against Iran. It's not that the Supreme Leader's compound was targeted. We know that the Supreme Leader was unharmed during the attack. He wasn't at the residence. Which they've known this is coming. He hasn't made a public appearance, and gosh, I think it's been 10, 11, 12 days since his last public appearance. So they've been keeping him pretty well locked down. The president of Iran, he was also a target of these attacks. We know he is unharmed and safe as of now. But the Iranians did suffer a couple of big-time casualties. From what I can understand, the head of their judiciary was killed, and that's a big loss, an important loss for them, because it's an Islamic republic that is ran by jurists, and losing him is a symbolic loss, big time for sure, because it's a theocracy. It's an Islamic republic, and so that means the supreme leader, he's not only the political leader, he's the spiritual / religious leader as well. So like the president, for example, he's kind of the second, he's the main political leader that doesn't have the religious duties. But that this judiciary guy was kind of the lead jurist without the political duties, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that's a big loss. And there were also targets against key infrastructure for the Revolutionary Guard, the IRGC, which is expanded tenfold, I'd say, under Khamenei. The IRGC reports to Khamenei, the supreme leader. Any demands go to him, or whatever they need to do, whatever he says. And they have the standard Iranian military as well. I believe they lost a couple of key commanders like that. So, yeah, some big attacks already. We, at least from what I saw, no key damage to any nuclear capability or infrastructure, or the missile defense program, which is the two best cards the Iranians have right now. And we also saw the proxy network is getting activated as well. We've already seen the Houthis release statements that they're going to get right back to targeting cargo shipping on the Red Sea. They're the Iranian-backed proxy in western Yemen, northwestern Yemen. So that's a pretty big escalation there. And Iran's other proxies, I'm sure they're getting ready or waiting for they're definitely going to be on speed dial for sure. The Ayatollah is weighing all of his options, I'm sure, right now. So, but we'll just kind of have to keep seeing where this progresses, right? But it is now the stated goal to topple the regime. So that's something that we need to keep in mind, is that we're going for it all here. This has really been building for the past decade, or I'd say since 2018, once we left the original Iran nuclear deal. It's been to cripple the regime economically, to degrade the proxy network, particular with Operation Grim Beeper in Lebanon against Hezbollah, the crown jewel proxy for the Iranian regime, with the pager attacks. I'm sure you remember. I went into greater detail about that in the Hezbollah episode a couple months ago. So if you want to check that out, you should. I do some history about Lebanon as well. But and they killed Hassan Nasrallah 10 days after that. And they didn't even have his funeral until February of 25, because it was such a a dangerous airspace, dangerous time. So, so the crown jewel proxy has been chipped, targeting the nuclear program. Last June, the strikes against Fordow and Natanz and starts with an I, the third city. So degrading the nuclear enrichment capabilities, destroying centrifuges, and then the maximum pressure for the economic sanctions. We saw the snapback sanctions applied by Europe last September, following the when Iran abandoned discussions with the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, that brought out additional sanctions against the country. The dollar, their form of currency, totally collapsed around New Year's Day. We saw these protests start breaking out in the country around New Year's Day, a couple days after Christmas. So it's been this massive buildup for the past several, really 6 to 8 years, and now we're seeing it culminate right now with this current war. This is they're going for it all, for sure, with these strikes. So, okay, let's see. Here, I got some comments. Sorry, I kind of went on a little monologue there. New kid in town, the Supreme Leader, LMAO, sort of like Trump, Supreme Leaders everywhere, until Vinny says, I hope it doesn't turn into another drawn-out war. The new kid in town says, F war and tyrants everywhere, posers. Mr. Good Citizen, 9914 says, tyrants. New kid in town says, effing the world. Ronwin Ant says, good morning, beautiful day in DC. Good morning, Ronwin. Thank you for joining the stream. It is a very nice day. Not that chilly and cold out, so we're doing okay today. New kid in town says, your government is your master, say it on a bullhorn. And then David Moore 7110 says, that's why none of the 3 countries were helping them during Israel's attacks. Right, yeah, just the proxy network has been, it's been weakened, for sure. Now we'll have to see, it's a decades-long chess game. Have to think of it this way as well. But right now, the Iranians, they got to make a move. And the question is, what's that move going to be? And is it going to be the right move? But yeah, they have to respond in some meaningful way, particularly probably around the missile defense program. They either got to use them or they're probably going to get blown up at this point. So I think that's what they're probably debating right now, is how to play that card. 7569 says, are you Jewish? I'm not Jewish, no. New kid in town, that blue suit there, says who he represents. Who's wearing the blue suit? Hey everybody, good morning everybody. If you're just now joining the stream, would love if you hit that subscribe button. We are going to be doing a lot of streams today. We're going to be heading to an anti-Iranian regime protest here. It starts at around 2, probably start doing man on the street interviews at the event. So we will be checking that out. And then tonight at 8:15, going to do an emergency episode, and we're going to be breaking this all down. 7569 says, you okay with me then, dude? Yes. I don't hate anybody. This channel is designed to help people learn about what's happening in Washington, D.C. and provide the truth and political commentary. New Kid in Town says, I enjoy your feed, too. And then David Moore says, I enjoy his feed too. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate your guys' support. So hey, if it is your first time on the channel, would love if you hit that subscribe button. That's best way you can support my channel. We're growing every day. The Awoken is, we're expanding each and every day, brick by brick and patriot by patriot. So you'll definitely want to join officially. So hit that subscribe button. That way we can reach even more patriots. And 7569, how do you feel about USA fighting Israel wars? We'll talk about that a little more tonight. So you'll definitely want to come back tonight for that. I actually just got to my place of employment a few minutes ago, or I'm about to near there. So I'll have to hop off of this stream here in a second. But even if you come back at the for the 2 o'clock stream, we can talk a little more then. But good question though. And Lucy the dog is here. She misses you too. And New Kid in Town says, even if people don't agree, they should talk to each other and share ideas. Yeah, I agree with that 1000%. But okay, everybody. Well, I got to hop off of here. Been almost an hour. That's what I wanted to hit around. So, but yeah, just once again, if you're new to the channel, would love if you subscribed. We'll be back at around 2 and at 8:15 tonight to discuss more Iran war coverage. So, all right, guys, much love. And you have been awoken with Alden. All right, much love, everybody. We will see you later today. Stay safe out there, okay? Much love.